Hi everyone, it is Tuesday, April 14th, 2020, and it is time for writing again. You guys, today's teaching point is that book review writers, they think about who their reviews are for, and they include information that will be important for those readers. Now, I have a question for you. If I said, I'm going to review the book Pete the Cat, would you guys all immediately have an idea in your head about the book Pete the Cat? Yeah, you would, because you have already read Pete the Cat before and you've seen Pete the Cat on videos. You know all about Pete the Cat, right? So I wouldn't have to tell a lot of information in my book review about who Pete the Cat is, right? But guess what? I was talking to my grandma the other day. I was Zooming her, and I told her that I was gonna tell her about this really cool story about Pete and how Pete was walking along and he stepped in these strawberries and his shoes turned all red, and how he didn't cry, and then he stepped in the mud and they turned brown and he still didn't cry, and then he got all wet. And my grandma looked at me and she said, well, my goodness, this little boy named Pete, he sure is not watching where he's going. And I thought, oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't think about who I was talking to, because my grandma, she's a lot older than we are, and she's never read Pete the Cat before, and she didn't know that Pete is not a little boy. She didn't know that Pete is a cat. So I had to go backwards and say, wait a minute, Grandma, the book title is Pete the Cat, and Pete is not a little boy, he's a cat. And then she had an idea of what the book was about. So you have to remember who is reading your book review and what do they already know. Okay? Now, if I were writing a book review for you guys about Pete the Cat, I wouldn't have to explain that Pete is a cat and that he has a really good attitude, because you've read Pete the Cat before. So what I could do for you is I could compare Pete the Cat with another Pete the Cat book. Listen to the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you right here. I can use words like this. If you liked Pete the Cat, then you'll like Pete the Cat rocking in my school shoes, because they have the same cool character named Pete the Cat in them. Yeah, that's one thing that you can do, is you can compare those two books. Now, you can compare the two books to show how they're both the same, and you can contrast the books and show how they are different. Yeah, so I could say, in both books, Pete the Cat has a great attitude and he does not cry when something goes wrong. But in Pete the Cat rocking in my school shoes, you'll find that Pete the Cat perseveres even more. He keeps coming into all of these situations that he's never had before, like when he goes to the lunchroom at school for the first time, and it's kind of loud and there are people with hot lunch and he has a cold lunch from home. Does he cry? Does he get upset? Goodness, no. He just sits down with his friends and he sings his song. I'm eating in my school shoes. I'm eating in my school shoes. I'm eating in my school shoes. Do you see how I did that? I compared Pete the Cat by telling you something that was different in both books and something that was the same. In fact, you might even, when you compare books like that, you might even want to use better and best words. Let me show you like this. better and best words are words like, this book was funnier, or it was the funniest, right? You could say, Pete the cat is cooler than the Big Mouth Frog, but the coolest book is Pete the Cat Rocking in My School Shoes. Yeah, you can use better and best words to describe what you think about each book. All right, that was our whole lesson for today. It was kind of short, wasn't it? But you guys, today, think about what you started yesterday. Did you start a book review? Okay. If you didn't finish that book review, you can work on it. How many of you guys are going to work on one that you started yesterday? Oh, okay. Now, how many of you have books that are sort of the same but that are different? And you want to be the kind of writer who's brave today, and you want to try to compare two different books. Like maybe you have 2 Magic Treehouse books, or 2 Mercy Watson books, or, what other kind of books? 2 Berenstain Bear books. Yeah. Maybe you even have 2 Mo Willem books. You have 2 Pigeon books, or 2 Elephant and Piggy books. Or you could even have 2 Pete the Cat books like I have, and you want to compare those books by using words like this. You could even say, I think Pete the Cat Rocking in My School Shoes is more hilarious than Pete the Cat, the original, because who thinks they're brave enough to use words like that? Yeah? Okay, remember, writing for at least 20 minutes today, and use all that you know to make your writing really great. Okay? Go get to writing. I'll see you tomorrow.